Welcome once again. This is Sarker Afroz, lecturer, Department of English. Well, dear student, literally we feel good when someone praises a lot to hear our way of talking or observing our presentation of writing. Yes, dear student, this is very possible when you will stop saying anything oftentimes, or if you will follow the one single topics with unity and coherence. This time, a paragraph will help you a lot. A paragraph writing is a way which allow you to introduce, discuss or conclude one single topic in a single passage. Not only that, at the same time, by writing a paragraph, you will be able to show your technical expertise in English. Moreover, you will be able to show your ideas, opinions and thoughts through a single good paragraph. So dear students, hope you understood. My today's topic is how to write a paragraph. Well, dear students, I have lots of information to give you. Now, let's have a look on the board. Well, dear student, you can see I have already written all the informations here. What is paragraph writing and what are the principles of paragraph writing and the parts of paragraph writing. These things are very important to write a paragraph. At first, I want to start by the definition. Here is the definition. Definition is a paragraph is a series of unified and coherent sentences dealing with a central idea. You can see most important thing here, you have to write an idea and in this case you have to be very careful about unified and coherent sentences. Yes, dear students, as earlier I said you, it's a way where you will be able to show your expertise. So we can say a paragraph is a distinct section of a piece of writing, usually dealing with a single theme. Well, dear students, from the definition of paragraph writing, we can find two principles of paragraph writing. Here I wrote, first one is unity and second one is coherence. These two things is very important when you are writing a paragraph. Yes, dear students, many of us have enough idea about English, about grammar, vocabulary, but problem arises when we don't know the correct format of writing a paragraph or any topics. So in this regard, you have to be very careful and remember this principle when you are writing. Well, dear students, what I meant by unity? Unity is a process where unity is a single idea. You have to be careful when you are uniting some ideas. Next, need to attract the attention of the reader. That means if you want to attract the attention of the reader, so you have to unite all the informations and focus on the single ideas. Next one is digression is not expected. In this regard, in unity, this portion, these three topics is not important. It's very important to remember. Next come coherence. Is you can see I wrote here logical order. Coherence means logical order. It's very important when you are maintaining these things. Well, dear students, next come forming a unified whole. As a unified whole, you have to maintain coherence. You have lots of information you gather, but you don't know how to write it logically and in an organized way. In that case, you will not obtain a good marks and your listener or reader will not feel good when they will read your script. So you have to follow these things. Next one, it comes make sense through the organization of its content. So you have to be very much careful about these things. Content, that means your idea. So dear students, I hope you understood the principles of paragraph writing. Next comes parts of paragraph writing. Well, dear students, it is very important. Suppose here is a topic for you. It's maybe school library It may be a tree plantation, deforestation, or any others. Well, dear student, in that case, what you have to do? At first, you have to find out the topic sentence, or this called paragraph introducer. That means your title, your subject, what will be the topics of paragraph. So in this case, you have to be very careful. These things will be related with these two topics. So paragraph introducer is very important. Next come body. That means all the informations you gathered, you need to develop this by sequence. I have already mentioned it in my previous portion, that was coherence. So when you are writing or fabricating your ideas, you have to develop the paragraph. In that case, you can use different type of topics. When you are developing your paragraph, you have to develop by contrast. So dear students, I must say here you need to use a very important grammatical points, that is connectors, sentence connectors. In this topic, sentence connectors will help you a lot to write a perfect and suitable paragraph. So dear student, in my today's discussion, I will not going to talk about sentence connectors, but in my next videos, definitely I will show what is sentence connectors. Well, dear students, now what is important for paragraph developers, I'm telling you. At first, paragraph development by contrast, or you can develop your information by comparison or by cause or effects. At the same time, you can use some examples to write a paragraph. You can use facts or definition, listing and whatnot. So to build up your paragraph, you need to follow all the informations. Next comes conclusive or paragraph termination. So you have written these two topics. Next one, you have to write a suitable conclusion so that reader can understood the whole thing at a glance. So dear students, I hope you understood the very important things, that is parts of paragraph writing. Well, dear students, earlier I told you about the definition and the parts. Now it's very important to know the classifications of paragraph. Well, dear students, you can see I wrote here paragraph writing is classified in 4 types. First one is narrative paragraph. In that case, you have to narrate some ideas. Next one, descriptive. One thing I must to mention here, I wrote here para, that means paragraph. Basically it's a problem for space, that's why I wrote it in short. So first one is narrative paragraph. Next one, descriptive paragraph, you have to describe anything. And third one, explanatory paragraph, that is like discipline, value of time, punctuality, like this. Next, argumentative paragraph. These are the 4 things of classification of writing. Next come pattern of paragraph. Dear students, it's very important to know these things, because you can see I wrote here in bracket that there are 2 types of paragraph pattern. Methodological paragraph, which is very common for English first paper. Here you will find some questions for you, and you have to answer all the questions, and not to forget about the coherence, unity, and all the informations I earlier gave you. So dear students, when in your first paper examination, you will find a topics which will be methodological paragraph, and there will be question, maybe 5 or 6 questions, and you have to answer all the questions. Next is come situational paragraph. This paragraph is very common for English second paper, and in this paragraph there will be no question, but there will be clues or hints. and you have to write your paragraph by following the clues and hints. So dear student, I hope you understood the two things. One is methodological paragraph and next one is situational paragraph. Well, now my next step, I'm going to start to write a paragraph. In that case, what are the requirements I need to fill up? Yes, dear students, I have enough idea about paragraph writing. Now I'm going to start. Suppose my question is deforestation. So what you have to do at first, written in a para is very important thing, dear students. When you are writing a paragraph, remember not to forget that you have to write the whole paragraph in a para. You are not permitted to do it here 2, 3 or more paras. So of course you have to write here in a para. Next one, no repetition of same sentence. So dear students, be careful when we are writing sentence. Next, very important, not to mention any course. This is very important, dear students, because students has a very wrong idea, that thought that they will obtain good marks if they write any course in the paragraph. So dear students, avoid these things. It is strictly prohibited in paragraph writing. Next, come write in indirect speech. Yes, dear student, you have idea about narration or speech writing. In that case, you are not permitted to write direct narration. Please write here in indirect speech. Next one, maintain of unity and coherence. Dear students, I have already told you about these two things, so remember about these things. Next come tense, must to follow as mentioned in the question. Earlier I told you about the questions, methodological and situational. In that case, there will be some question and you have to follow the tense. Next comes written in a simple sentence. Yes, dear students, it is very important. Dear students, you have lots of information, but you have to follow the write in a way that easily a reader can understand what you want to write in the paragraph and clear the thing, because it's very important. It will clear, it will make a good impression to the readers. Next come shortened form to be avoided. Yes, dear students, suppose you want to write do not. In that case, you are not permitted to write here don't or cannot or didn't, like this. You have to write in a full form. Next, completeness. Completeness is very important. If you have enough idea, you have informations, you have relevant data, in that case you have to write everything in as a whole. So next come order of presentation. It is very important. It related with coherence, logical order. Dear student, presentation is a very important thing for a paragraph writing. Next come write in a standard size. It's very important to obtain a good marks in a paragraph writing. You have to write in a standard size. Please write there in minimum 250 words. There will be a standard size to write a paragraph. So these are the all here mentioned. So dear students, please follow all the things very carefully, and I'm sure if you follow this thing, it will help you to obtain a good marks and it will help you to catch a good attention to the reader or a listener when you want to be a good speaker or a writer. So that's all for paragraph writing, dear students. Well, dear students, I hope you understood the total format of paragraph writing. If you follow this, it will help you to write a good paragraph and will help you to obtain a good marks in the examination, and it will carry a good impression to you. So dear students, practice on this, and thank you very much